Alright guys, so we're working on a 2000 Blazer LT here. Had an issue with the spare tire carrier holder. Was going to change that out, and in order to change, what happened guys is this piece here, it rusted off. It holds the spare tire up in there. There's a thing that goes across inside here, and that rusted off. Whoever had this Blazer before, so they never had a spare tire up underneath here. So what I was gonna do guys is I would have had to take these bolts out up here, and then you got a bolt down here. But the problem on this truck guys is there's a bolt right up in here, and I have no way of getting to that bolt. I don't know why they didn't take the bolt and go up through there this way so you could actually get the bolt out. Instead they come down from the factory down this way, so you can't get to the bolt. The only way you can get to the bolt guys is to take the rear bumper off. Well, I started to take the rear bumper off, and these here already these are welded at the top, and they're like a little bolt that sticks through there. So I ended up not taking the bumper off, and this here thing was kind of rusted up. I didn't want to turn this your cable here, and I finally got that freed up, sprayed that down with some lubricant there, and finally got that freed up so the cable would come back down. And then I noticed why they didn't have the spare tire in there, because that piece that fits on here guys is had rusted off and broke off. So, and like I said, you can't get to this bolt down here without taking the bumper off to get that assembly out of there for your spare tire carrier. So what I did guys, I come up with an idea of just I took me a flat piece of steel here, about an 1/8 inch thick, and what I did is I measured that out there and just cut me out. I had this laying around, this here little piece of steel here, iron or whatever you want to call it. And so here's what I come up with. There's a couple ways you can do it. One of the other ways you could do it guys, if you wanted to get to that bolt that's down underneath here, is you would have to drill a hole big enough in here to get a 13mm socket in there, because that's what size bolt that is that's going down there to take that assembly off. I would have had to drill a big enough hole to get me a 13mm socket in there. I mean, you could do that if you wanted to. You could take a pretty good sized drill bit, or maybe take a torch or whatever if you got a torch, and cut that out in order to get a 13mm socket. Then you could get in there to take that assembly out of there. But I come up with this idea here guys. I just cut this flat piece of flat iron here. That piece there getting in the way. That piece is supposed to be up there on that. I'm gonna have to glue that back on or something. Or it's a plastic piece here that keeps your when it goes up in there, it keeps it from tearing you into your cable. So I'll have to, that piece there broke off on me, so I'll probably end up gluing that back on there or silicone or something. But anyways, what I did then, guys, is I took me and cut me a notch out in that, like that. So now, and then a couple ways you can do this too, guys. I got these from the hardware store. They come in a package like this, and I ended up drilling this out right where my cut is on here, and this way I can put that in there, guys, on each side. And bolt that down, and that way this cable will not slip out of here. And this way, or if you wanted to, guys, you could just take something like that and weld that back up, or weld that piece on there, or weld this back up so your cable won't come out of there. And this way I can put that through this hole here and put this tire back up underneath there. So that was the easiest thing I found to do on that. And like I said, this thing here was rusted up. I couldn't hardly turn it at all. I mean, it was real bad, and I finally broke it loose after I put some penetrating oil on there and let it set for a while. And now my cable's moving like it's supposed to, up and down. So that was rusted up pretty good, guys, but I ended up getting that freed up, so I got that done. And ended up taking this bumper, or the bumper cover off. It just goes in here. They got clips that go in there. I ended up breaking a couple of clips off on there, but I'll put that back on, because I'm not gonna drill that out and take this off, because this thing that I made here is going to work out just as well, because I already checked it all out. And that thing will, you put it in through here and just let it, and then raise your tire up there, guys. So so that's one way you could fix that. If you have that piece there that goes into your wheel to pull your wheel up underneath your thing, if that's rusted off, which I'm guessing other people have that same problem, where this rusts off and then they have no way of putting that inside their wheel to get their wheel lifted up inside their underneath here, guys. So that was the best way I could figure out how to do that that will work, versus storing the spare tire up here in the back, because that's kind of a dangerous situation there. If you're storing it back here in your back, just letting it lay loose, because if you get in a car wreck or you get in a bad wreck or something, that tire going to be flying. That tire can fly anywhere inside the cockpit there. So this way it'll be safer with this being down up under here like it's supposed to be, guys. And like I said, this way I'm not having to take this thing here out, because once I got checking it out, I figured there's no way of really getting to that bolt unless I pull the bumper off, and then I started running into some problems here. So I'm going to have to probably drill these out and put some bolts back in here to make this bumper a little more solid, because I'll probably end up putting some kind of a hitch on this too, just in case we need to pull a trailer or something. But anyways, guys, I thought I'd throw that video out there. You can make your own deal. I just took a flat iron piece there, and you can see what I done there. Like I said, you can do it, put a couple bolts in there if you want to do it that way, or you could, if you got a welder, just go ahead and weld it up. So this way your cable can't come out of there and lose your spare tire out the back. I don't think it even would. Even if you had that up there tight, if you didn't have anything on there, it's going to be tight enough to where I don't think it would work its way loose. But this is a safety, just in case. I figured this would be a better way of doing it. And I'll bolt that down. That way that cable can't come out of that groove. I had to cut a groove in there to get that cable in there because I didn't know any other way of really doing that. So I figured that would work out pretty good that way, guys. So anyways, I thought I'd throw that video out there for somebody else that might be having that same issue and they don't know exactly what to do to fix that, because a lot of the other ones, the other videos I checked out, I never seen one that was like this, where the bolt was going down this way. So you can't get that thing out of there without taking your rear bumper off there. So anyways, guys, that'll wrap this video up on how to repair your spare tire carrier. It goes up underneath there on one of these Blazers, and probably an S10, maybe some other vehicles too, guys. You know, doing it like that. Some of your other vehicles that already got the tire going up underneath there, and if that piece is rusted off and broke off, you can make you a thing like that. You can make your own there, and that way you don't have to tear all that crap out of there if you're you know, your cable's still working fine. Probably a good idea to keep that. I just sprayed some lubricant inside here and on the back side of that, and then I sprayed some on that cable there too. So you probably want to work them every once in a while, maybe once a year or something. Make sure they don't freeze up on you, get all rusted up, and then when you do have a flat or something, and then you can't get that thing out, you know, you can run into a problem there. So just keep that lubed up with maybe some grease. Put some grease in there, or some penetrating oil or whatever, and that way you won't get yourself in a bind if you get a flat tire and you need to get that tire down, and this is all rusted up, and then you can't get the tire down, and then you got a problem. So alright, guys, that'll wrap this one up.